Hello everyone and welcome to the first edition of the Insight Talk Show. It is my immense pleasure to welcome Professor Abhay Karanlikar. He is currently the head of Computer Center of IIT Bombay as well as an acclaimed professor with the Electrical Department. He has been recently awarded with the Hari Om Ashram Prerit Dr. Vikram Sarabhai Award for his contributions and achievements in the field of electronics, informatics and automation. Congratulations. Today we will be talking about the various policies and initiatives taken by the Computer Center. We would also be seeking answers to the various grievances faced by the students. Welcome to the show. So the first question, could you give us a brief overview of the work that comes under you?
So as the head of the Computer Center, of course, my primary responsibility is to manage the entire IT infrastructure of the institute, which includes network as one of the major components, but we also have to manage web servers, mail servers, proxy servers, firewall, and also the internet, the main internet link. Apart from that, of course, we are also have set up a high-performance computing facility which will be open the institute users in maybe 1 month's time frame. This high-performance computing facility project was conceived about 1.5 years back, because while other IITs, most of the other IITs had the supercomputing or high-performance computing facility, but this facility was not there in IIT Bombay. The convener of the HPCC facility is Professor Sunoj from Department of Chemistry. This is going to be a central computing facility. Currently it is located in the old CSE department, and this has a total computing power of something like 30 teraflops. And one of the state-of-the-art facility, I would say that in the academic institutions now, this could be the largest supercomputing facility in India. If you leave aside Tata's computational research
In
laboratory.
the recent times, we've been hearing about the network revamping which has been done for the institute. Could you throw a bit more light on that?
So network revamping, we have been doing in different parts of the institute for different reasons. We took up the project of hostel network revamping because of the increase in the number of students. It was required that each hostel group needs to be provided with 2 LAN ports. Most of these switches were unmanaged, and since they were unmanaged switches, their visibility was not there to the computer center as a whole, where we can view the health of the network in a central network operations center. So then, at that time we took the decision about a year back that we will upgrade all the switches with the completely managed switches. And so when we took up, and of course we will increase the capacity of each of the room as well. So when we took up that decision, we decided that we will also provide 1 Gbps port to each and every room. So we have a 2-tier architecture. In each wing of the hostel we have what we call as access switches, and then each hostel we have what we call as a distribution switch or aggregate switch, and all the access switches are connected to the distribution switches through the fibers. More or less, the revamp is complete except hostel 12, I should say, because there are some teething problems in laying the fiber to some of the from the wings to the distribution switches. We have to now improve the network connectivity in the academic area and the residential area.
Sir, in all hostels, a lot of students face problems related to the LAN ports. In most of the cases, these problems are very menial, but they are not attended to in time because of the vendor delays, and because of which students are being deprived of the internet facility. What is being done in this regard?
See, I believe that this issue was there last year. But with the revamp of the hostel networks, I don't think that this should be a problem. I recently had a meeting with the system administrators of all the hostels, and in some of the hostels there were some minor issues which I believe, while we speak today, all those issues have been addressed. Except, as I said, in hostel 12.
So what is the status of the new CC building, and what are your plans for it?
Status of the new CC building, actually I am not the right person to
What are the plans part of it? What do you plan?
On the plans, we have plans of about 250 user hall. We also plan to set up a data center where we can not only have our own mail servers and proxy servers and web servers, but also should be able to host other servers. We also have a plan of having some kind of a network operation centers where we can visualize the entire status of the network and take proactive actions if in some part of the institute network is down or something like that. So, that is really the vision. But once the building is complete, when we move in, we should be able to implement that.
So we have heard that CC would be shutting down all the hostel computer rooms. Is this true?
On a long term, it is not becoming a sustainable option to maintain the computer room in each hostel.
Right.
And the reason for that is they are not being maintained properly. So what I see as a long-term solution is that if we make the network good, then most of the students, at least from second year onwards, have their own machines, and if they are able to connect to the network, then they should be able to use it, and perhaps they don't need it. The problem is they are only for first year students and for some students who do not have the computers. For them, I think the proper place should be to have a big user hall in the academic area. But we have not taken any such decision that we are shutting down the computer rooms or there will be no computer rooms in each hostel. So there is no such plan, I should say.
So what exactly was the purpose of installing the smart switches?
Yeah, so I told you that our basic idea was to replace them with managed switches so that we should be able to manage the entire network from a single network operation center. So that was really the basic purpose. The other aspect was that we should be able to implement some of these access control policies. For example, currently the LAN ban policies we can implement using just simple software configurations in the switches. So the reason for it with smart switches are that we can implement smart policies.
So does any of these smart policies include having a 24-hour internet connection with having the LAN ban for that stipulated number of hours?
See, the issue of LAN ban etc. is not decided by the computer center. This is a policy that needs to be decided by the Dean of Student Affairs and Dean of Academic Affairs. Okay. So we are merely implementing the policies which have been set forth by the institute. So neither we have created the LAN ban policies nor we are going to modify, alter or change it at the computer center level.
So can you tell us whether it is technically possible to have a policy in place which allows us or grants us access to the internet for 24 hours a day, but implements that LAN ban for that stipulated number of hours which is already in place?
In principle, it is possible, but whether it is practical and whether it can be easily done, because remember, it is one thing to say that one can implement policies, but there is another thing also to say that these policies have to be managed at some network operation centers.
Right.
And given the current state in which we are in computer center, where we are all the time involved with firefighting operations, I do not want to experiment with new possibilities that the smart switches may allow.
Right.
But once we have a stable computer center building infrastructures, maybe we can explore that. So in principle, yes, it is possible. I'm not sure whether feasible in practice at this stage.
In other institutes like IIT Roorkee, they have Wi-Fi access in the hostel area as well as the academic area. Do you plan something on the similar lines for IIT Bombay?
We do have a plans to give Wi-Fi access in academic area. We are working on this. I cannot say that we will give Wi-Fi access in the hostel areas, but definitely we have plans to give Wi-Fi in academic area, and I think I have already worked out the technical specifications of that, and we are working on it.
And when can be the technical date, or when can
I
students
cannot give you
expect?
any time frame for this because it depends upon how much will be the cost of that and whether we can have the adequate funding support to get that. But there is definitely a plan.
Recently, the Google Safe Search settings have been permanently set to strict. Was it done by the CC?
It's possible, but I'm not 100% aware. So we actually have certain restrictions, but I'm not 100% aware whether that is applied to the Google search.
Some institutes have signed a deal with Google, wherein Google provides them with a platform for email as well as group chats and higher data storage. Do you think that something like this should be implemented for IIT Bombay also?
There is this issue of the privacy. Many of these mails are sensitive and confidential information. regarding storage and all other facilities, actually this is all possible to provide easily inside IIT. As I told you that our current problem, I mean the computer center's current problem is not having a proper building of our own, where we can have proper data center where we can host all servers. We are heavily constrained in terms of resources, both in terms of a building infrastructure as well as the people. We are also constrained in terms of the people who to manage the size of the network and the size of the servers. That is the only issue. But it's not that we cannot manage in IIT an email system which is similar to Google or something like that. We can also do that.
So what is the current internet link bandwidth that we have in our city? And who are the service providers? And what are the future plans?
So currently we get our internet link from two service providers. One is Tata Communications and another one is Verizon Business. And the reason that we have the bandwidth from two service providers is that we want to maintain the redundancy. So one link goes down, we should not have the entire internet going down. So that is 280 megabits per second. The director has constituted a internet bandwidth committee. We should be quite okay if our internet link bandwidth goes up to 400 megabits per second.
So a few of the softwares that have been licensed by the institute, like MATLAB and Mathematica, for example, the earlier versions of these softwares have been licensed by the institute, whereas the students are expected to use the newer version or the improved version in their labs, in their classrooms. So what is the stand of SCC?
Cost of upgrading this new license is quite large. I mean, last year, for example, I specifically was looking for upgrading the MATLAB to MATLAB 7 or 8. The cost was really very large. And same thing has been there even for Microsoft Windows or something. So because of the prohibitive cost of these licensed softwares, we adopted this policy of using open source software. As a result, you would see that our dependence on Microsoft is very less. Most entire administrations and account sections we are using Linux-based machines. And similarly, for scientific computing applications like MATLAB, people are using Skylab and so on.
And the last question, sir, what are your future plans as a CC here?
Our long-term strategy should be that if we can improve the network connectivity and give an experience to the user so that it helps an uninterrupted network which runs 24/7 by 365 days. I think all of us at the computer center are really working to strive to achieve that.
Yeah. With this, we come to the end of an interview. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us and answering to all our questions. As for our viewers, we would like to hear from you. How did you like this show? So please send us your detailed feedback at insight@iitb.ac.in.